Power We was a way of inclusion, a way of inviting anyone who needed or wanted a place to belong.
It was just very clear to me that this was something that would really benefit the young folks right here.
And to be able to give them a different perspective, that I know where they come from, I know what they're experiencing because I was there too, and letting them know that there's different actions that they can take that'll lead to a different destiny.
We really needed to hear that. In order to change our community, we needed to hear that.
And they are inspired to invest in making it happen. That's powerful.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. I was getting it today. I was getting it. I don't care. I know my family thinks I can dance. They just don't happen to be here when I'm killing it like I was just then with something. That's my jam. I'm feeling good today. Yes, I am. I'm not playing. I'm happy today, y'all. Because why? Because I am just so fulfilled. I am. I'm so fulfilled. Even, you go through a lot, and you think just a few days ago, we lost Brandon, but today we know more about Brandon's journey than we did when he was alive, because it makes you go back and remember yourself to those first time we met, The first time we had coffee, the first time there was a breakthrough, on and on and on. So I'm encouraging you today. Remember, you want to make sure you're always able to say, my cup runneth over. Too many people today are saying, my cup runneth out. And that's not what you want. And that isn't what you have to accept. So starting with things like being here together, fulfilling that promise that guarantees us that when we come together, if it's one, two or more of us, because you need to bounce things off of somebody. You need somebody that's going to tell you what you need to hear sometime and not just what you want to hear. All of those things and a bag of chips, it all comes with the promise of two or more. So thank you for joining me here today and every day, Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central for another illuminating conversation. So there's the bell of purpose. And you see, I didn't slip and fall on it just now. I hit it on purpose and with purpose. That's what you got to do. Everything you do, mean it. Because the moment you do, trust me, it becomes meaningful somewhere in the universe. Can I get an amen? I knew it. Thank you. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Thursday, 2 weeks from today. 2 weeks from today. What time is it? 8 o'clock. Oh, right now, 2 weeks from now, I'm going to, I said, where's my jacket? I can't show it. I'm that person. I wanted to put on my school clothes as soon as my mom buy them 2 months ahead. I was running one. Let me just put on the pants. Can I just put on the shirt? She's like, no. You know what I mean, right? I just love putting stuff on before it's like Christmas. Can't wait for it to come. We're celebrating 287 wonderful, wonderful scholars, wonderful, wonderful youth leaders, just wonderful, extraordinary kids. That's right. At the Stan Mansion for the 3rd annual Power We Symposium. We cannot wait. And just a wonderful, wonderful lineup. I'm not going to take too much time because we're a little late coming on. Banki and I, that's my guest today from Banki Designs in Canada. I met Banki when Banki D. Benjamin, I think D stands for Denise. That's what I was trying. We're going to guess. We play that game. Put it in the chat. This is a tough one because when was the last time you tried to match a middle name with Banki? Okay, I ain't never met a Banki, but I love it, and you're going to love her. I do. I love introducing people that I love to people that I love. So how can this go wrong? It won't. Don't forget the Soul Children of Chicago headlining Grammy Award-winning gospel children's choir, and we cannot wait. They're going to tear the roof down. There's Dr. Walt Whitman. 40 years he's been doing this. This is their 40th anniversary, and we're just so grateful that they're going to share some time with us 2 weeks from today. Now, head over to PowerWeSymposium.com. Sherry McQueen, please drop where they can get their tickets. You don't have to travel to Chicago. You don't want to. We've made it easy this year, first time ever, pay-per-view. And we are splitting the $27 all-day access pass monies with the Soul Children's Choir. Because as you know, I've been telling you, they are raising or attempting to raise, and I'm sure they're going to do it, $1 million to help offset the care and everything that's around all of that war over there. And it's for orphans. It is earmarked specifically to help the orphans. A lot of kids are parentless there now. And just, kids want to help kids, and I don't blame them. So we're going to split every penny of the pay-per-view, the tickets. So $27, you can watch all day during the lunch break when the kids are eating. You're going to be able to see what happened the night before when we were getting the mansion ready for the kids, like Christmas Eve, packing of the swag bags, the fellowship, all the people pouring into each other. There's a couple presentations that night just for the inner group to get our minds right, to get our hearts right, so that we can do our very best as the Four Agreements requests us to do the next day for these wonderful children. So we want you to be there. If you can't do the pay-per-view, be there in spirit. Send up some prayers for us, won't you please? Thank you so much. So Banki Benjamin, I have had the pleasure of knowing her more and more. She feels like a family member to me, and I mean that. She works with me. She does my web stuff, everything on the Power We site and LauraMichaelsHarris.com. All of that stuff is Banki. And she works inside my inner group with the P3 program and just everything. So I'm just so That's the power of we. I love introducing people I love to people I love. So we're going to get her in here. It's not her first time, but let's treat her like it is, right? It's another day in the neighborhood, and here she comes. Put your hearts on the screen, but more importantly, don't forget to put your heart into the conversation. Drop those comments and share this out. Here she comes. Banki D. Denise Benjamin. Man, I can jam even to that, to the countdown clock. Somehow I must have slipped on a rhythm banana peel recently because I suddenly have rhythm. See, I'm even clapping on beat. Wait, okay. There.
Yeah.
Good morning, Banki. How are you?
Hey, good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Where are you? Okay, I'm just kidding. This is going to be interesting because when you have someone on that you know as well as I know you, I forget we're on the air and I'll just start. We were backstage. That's why we're late. We're like we don't have a show to do. But welcome back. It's been a minute. Tell us what's been going on in the life of Banki. Give everybody a little. I'm going to scoot out for a second and let you have the stage. Just tell everybody a little bit about where little Banki got started. Is that really your first name or is that some kind of stage name? And if it is your real name, what's it mean? And last question, because inquiring minds want to know, wait, let me see if anybody guessed what they think your middle name is. They're always so afraid to do it. I don't know. Banki. Nope, nobody guessed but me. Really? Yeah, I'm looking at y'all. Interactive. Start with the easy stuff. Come on, Banki. What is D? What is the D?
So D is actually for designs. It's not my middle name.
Who puts an initial? Okay, we'll talk about this later in the show. Anyway, you go ahead, tell everybody where you're at in the world, and just give them a little bit of idea how you got started in life.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Sheares Benjamin, and my nickname is Banki. And the name Banki came about before I was born. I have two brothers that are older than me, and when my mom had me in her belly, they had a chance to give me a name. Well, first, they had a chance to really say, is it going to be a boy or a girl? And the brother that guessed that it's going to be a girl had the opportunity to name me, and he couldn't talk properly because he was not that much older than I am. And he said Banki. And that name stuck with me for the rest of my life.
Oh, you almost said the age. You were going to say, and that has lasted with me for the last. You didn't want to say it, huh? What is that?
Hold on.
How come women don't want to say how old they are?
How old am I?
Yeah, how old are you?
41.
You never ask a woman her age. I heard you out there say that, huh? Somebody did. You know that you don't ask a woman her age. Oh, somebody guessed. Oh, somebody guessed Dane.
What was the guess?
Facebook user? Who is that? That's a Facebook user. Is that Jamie? Jamie might be watching on a different platform. She always puts live. I bet you that's Jamie, you guys. Hi, Fallon LaFleur, Sharon McQueen, Tracy Randolph. The group is here. All right, share this out, you guys, right now. Everybody share this out one to one person. So, Banki, when you were small, you're in Canada now.
Yes.
Is your family originally from there?
No, I was born in Trinidad. I lived there till I was about 6 years old. And then I moved to Grenada, and I stayed there till I was 9, and then I came to Canada.
So speak something in Trinidadese.
I can't. I don't know how to.
Is there really a language for Trinidad?
No, it's just an accent, yeah. So there isn't any like language, but I've been up here since I was 9 years old, and I can't really get into it unless I'm surrounded amongst a lot of Trinidadians.
Yeah. That's so funny. I like that. Oh, excuse me. You wouldn't by chance be a Trinidadian, would you? I can't wait to use that. I should go to Trinidad. That way I'll be right every time just about. So what's the best thing about Trinidad that you love that those of us who have never been there should know is there? so that we might want to go there?
Check out Carnival in February.
In February. Is that
Yeah.
like the one in South America where they're like in all those big feathery, you know?
They have it. They have it in they have it in all the islands.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. Well,
You-
Trinidad it is. Who wants
Yeah.
to go? Put it in the comments. So tell us about what kind of the work you do. What is it you do? You have a lot of irons in the fire. And we're gonna get to the new book.
Mhm.
Probably right around halfway mark. We'll get to the book. But first, I told people a little bit. I shared a little bit about what we do together and our work. Ooh, make sure you nail everything right now, Banki. Ross McCrary just showed up and John Crotek.
Okay.
John Crotek, just between you and me, Banki. John Crotek is like big time.
Okay.
So, just saying. Okay, so what is it? Okay, you and I work together in this space and also with all of my websites and stuff. So you're a designer. When you say Banki Designs, and you proudly proclaim it because the middle initial is for design. So talk about what that means to someone. Why should that land and go, well, I think I might need her. How so? All you.
Well, it goes, and thank you. It goes into your business goals and objectives, and understanding your branding story and what you want the world to know about your business, what you want the world to know about your personal branding, and how to communicate that effectively visually with your audience. And you will do that with design, graphic designs, web design, social media content, whatnot.
All of that.
All of that.
And so here's the thing. I want to let's just start at the beginning, because it's not just when it hits the screen and all of that. It really starts when we first get the downloads about this and the other. And a lot of people I know, because I do digital content creation, commercials and show openers and things like that. And a lot of people, let's talk about the cluttering of your message. You know how I was always told the truth requires few words.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you who taught me that. It was a judge. It was she had it on the front of her bench, right? Because I just thought I could talk my way out of anything back then. So what happened was, Your Honor, and then I see that little plaque there. The truth requires, and I was like, okay, I did it. So anyway, yeah, that was pretty much how it went down. But that stuck with me. So let's talk about that. About what comes first, the visual or the message, the chicken or the egg?
The message, right? So you want to fully understand what your message is that you want to let your audience know, and you want to be able to capture it in a way that appeals to your audience and in a way that your audience will understand, right? So a lot of people will reach out to me for like a logo design for a business that they're starting. And they have a particular vision of how they would like it to be. But at the end of the day, it's more about how your ideal client, how they would like it to be.
What? You mean it's not about me?
Exactly.
No, but seriously, I know exactly what you're getting at there, because a lot of the clients I work with over in that space, it's like they're making the commercial for them to sell themselves. You know what I mean? And it's like, but wait, you are, and here's the dangerous part about that. I always say is because you know all the answers to the questions that you're putting out there. We don't. So if you don't come from where we are, you're going to assume. We know what the 4 agreements tells us about that, right? So now it's easier said than done, and that's true. This is one case where I have to say, yes, it is easier said than done. And that is getting to the core of that message, because you can have a message, but it can be so saturated in the market, the way you're verbalizing it, that you're like on a beach with a million other towels that look just like yours. Now, from the drone view, that's not how do I pick. So how do you turn your white towel on a beach of a million white towels, all of you doing the same thing, into a purple towel, so that the drone now says, well, look at all, well, what's that purple one? Ooh, how do you rise above? How do you get your brand and its message to rise above the noise of your competition?
And I love that you said that, because the slogan for Banki Designs is rise above. Rise above in a meaningful way, right? So it's how you stand out from the crowd. And you also said, with your experience with the judge, in less is more, right? As humans right now, we only have the attention span of 8 seconds, right? Less than a goldfish, if I'm not mistaken. So with that, we have 8 seconds to really captivate someone, to get that way they get the message right away without any noise. So the importance of design is really important. The importance of color psychology is really important. Shape psychology is also really important when it comes to design and the message you want to deliver.
8 seconds, huh?
Yes, 8 seconds.
Well, guess what's about to happen in 3, 2, 1. Guess what we're going to play? I can show you better than I can tell you. So what that means is I'm going to pull up my little timer, and then I'm going to say to you, I'm going to ask that question that so many of us, wait a minute. I hate when one thing changes and moves where everything was. Those little icon things.
Yes.
Say, I'm so not techy. There, clock. Okay, so here's what I like to do. I'm going to say, so Banki, you and I are, okay, I'm setting it up. You and I are at the airport, at the bar, waiting for them to call our flights.
Yes.
And we've been sitting, and this happens a lot. It used to happen a lot with me. That's why I'm using it. And you're sitting there talking for 20 minutes with a person, and it never fails. Right when it's time for you to go or them to go, it gets really interesting. And you know, man, I should have said this, but you don't have that much time. And then they say, and by the way, what was it again that you do, Banki? Go.
I'm a graphic and web designer and social media content creator. And that's pretty much what we do.
Well.
Did I pass?
That was 9.36, and I heard graphic design. Okay. Somebody time me. See, my turn. See what I mean? That, you know what? When I was a kid, I'd always play all the games that, like the card games and stuff that I knew all the answers to. Is that what I've done here? Set it up to. I know this because somebody worked me through this early in my career. Because I'd go on and on and on, be 20 minutes. They still didn't know. Seriously. Tell me when.
Okay.
You gotta ask me first. You gotta ask. Doesn't start till after you say the last word of the question.
Okay. Tell me about how you found your purpose. I don't know. Is that too long of a question?
No, you're asking me what I do.
Oh, okay. Tell me about what you do.
Well, it's simple. In a nutshell, I show people how to live their best lives through story.
You did it.
I know.
7 seconds.
Hit my theme music. Okay. See, but now the reason I like that is people always say to me, well, how do you do that? You know what I mean? Well, in a number of ways. I have a mastermind. I have a private coaching. I have an elite coaching. I speak from the stages. I create stages for others. All these, right, really. And then they always say, oh, I have a daughter who has been dabbling in. She could probably, well, it always leads to something. So tell me, so you told me how I did time-wise. So what do you do when someone comes to you and they don't have a clue what their message is, and they want you to, throw pixie dust, and just make everything work for them? What about that client that expects you to find and craft their message? What do you do in a case like that, Banki?
I have branding consultations, right? So I have branding consultations where I speak to the client to really understand what is it that they're trying to do. I want to know what their mission is, what their goals and objectives are as well. I also want to know what their strengths, their weaknesses, their competitors. I ask a lot of those type of questions to try to understand exactly what their branding story is and how to visually display that for them.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna share with everybody an example of what Banki is talking about, because you were there. You've been with me since I found my current coach. Remember? But
Mhm.
coming up in June, it'll be a whole year already. Can you believe that? So let me see, which part of it do I want to share? Okay. When we started working, everybody knows purpose, Bella purpose, Walla purpose, P3, passion, purpose, passion, patience, purpose. That's my thing. But I remember when Marcine said to me, but Lauren, about the towel analogy, rising above, just like you say. He said, but what does that really look like? And I'll never forget when he said two things. Google it on Amazon, purpose. 1 million books and something came up with purpose in it. And then he said, go to LinkedIn and type in purpose. And I did, and it was 500 pages. 500 pages of people that have that in their description or their title or something they coach or help you with purpose. But then when he said, but what you really talk about, Lauren, is how to find purpose through your scars.
Yes, I remember that.
Remember that? And
Yes.
then when I put in scars, I didn't find anything but plastic surgery, this, that, the other. Nobody was coming through that thing that when I say to you, honor your scars, or name a scar on your body, name a scar on your spirit. We all have, right there. I have one.
Mhm.
I have one.
I
Right.
do too.
Right. So talk about how important it is, because I think a lot of us, that's the way we find our soul's DNA.
Yes.
That thing that makes us, okay, yeah, fingerprints and hair follicles and stuff, but you can't ask somebody to take that home and read it. You can't tell a kid or anybody who needs to know what you've lived through anything about your story by saying, here's my fingerprint or here's a hair follicle. But you can by leaving your soul's DNA, which is your story.
Yes.
So is that a challenge for you in your work with some people, that they just cannot wrap their minds around the fact that their story is that golden vein of constant resources, if they choose to honor their scars? Talk about that if you could.
Well, yes, you have to be authentic in who you are. So that's a big part of it. But it also goes into how well you know your target audience, right? And I say that because you, as for the programs that you offer, the services that you do, knowing intimately what your target audience pain and desires are will help you understand that they also have scars, right?
Yes.
So it's to really understand the habits, the pain, the desires, the ages, just everything, narrowing down your target audience to the T, so you understand their pain and their desires, in your case, so that you can help them find their purpose.
And see, and there you go right there. That's another big piece. A lot of us will approach this intersection from the mindset of my target audience is based on who I'm trying to sell. No, I've always known my target audience is based on who I'm trying to tell something to, not sell something to. Because everything in my brand is designed like this stuff, magazines and stuff like that. It's not about the picture, but I know, because I got the download from What Is Greater Than Me, Lauren, you must always figure out. That's why getting ego out of the way is so important. People think ego in the way is just about me. No, it's also so you can get past your fears of yourself. Because if you don't like seeing yourself, like I didn't for 20 some years, no pictures, how could that be behind me right now? So I had to conquer my own demons in order to fight my way to tell them. So this stuff is designed, what I guess I'm trying to say is this stuff is more or less designed to get you, and all of us should do this, find what it takes to get your target market to stop long enough to get what it is you know they need.
Yes.
Right. They may stop because they go, oh, look, you're on the cover of a magazine. Okay, if that's what gets you to listen. But now that you're listening, hey, let's go to the inside to the property known as the cover story. Because then there's what I know you're really looking for. You think it's what this means, but that's not it. But inside you can really talk about what is the need. So how would you say things have changed, Banki, for people in their messages? I'm finding that more people are willing to get in there and just say, hey, this is me now since the arrival of the COVID era. You know, I find that people are more willing to say, okay, here it is. I'm going to just put this shit out there on the table, take it or leave it. Because we've all been alone during COVID. So a lot of people are like, you know what? It ain't so bad. Why was I so afraid that somebody wouldn't like me? I kind of like being alone. I like me. And that, I believe, was a great gift of COVID to many of us. So talk about the mindset. Have you seen any change for good or bad or whatever, indifferent, in this approach since we've come through this or since the start of COVID, because we're still in it?
Yes, I see a lot of people are putting themselves out there more. I'm seeing the rise of entrepreneurs more increased than ever before. People are basically taking a stand for their health, their well-being, their mental health, and they're prioritizing that even more than ever before. So I'm seeing all of that. I'm seeing a lot of Facebook lives, a lot of Instagram lives. So a lot of people are putting themselves out there. I'm not sure if they're going about it the right way. Meaning that it's one thing to get in front of an audience and speak. It's one thing to really talk about what your concerns are, your issues, to be opinionated. It's even one thing to talk about your products and services, but a lot of people I find would probably need guidance into how to go about it the right way, how to really tell their branding story correctly in a way that keeps their audience captivated, right? I find that a lot of people are trying to race towards to be an influencer, not understanding, taking it back a little bit and really go about it the right way. So a lot of people are putting out content on a daily basis, but are they putting out good content?
Yeah, so and authentic.
Yeah.
Because you know why? A lot of people think that good content is just the solution piece. That you got to come saying, look what I know. Hey, I got what you need. This, but being an influencer to me, because that's what I tell people when they ask me what I do for a living, I say I'm an influencer. And I didn't just jump and grab that. I evolved and grew into a relationship with that, because that made the responsibility always up front. You never punch out. It makes you know that you have to live, like Maya Angelou said. I showed a clip a couple weeks ago where, you guys remember that, when she talked about your best life, and she goes, the hardest part of living your best life is that you must live your teachings. Yes. You must live your teachings. If you tell people this, you must live that. And so I want to switch up just a little bit right here, because we're talking about the message and stuff, and a lot of it is about trust.
Yeah.
Trust, vulnerability, accountability, all these things. I don't like to just post victories. I like to post when I'm hurting. I like to post when my heart is broken. I like to post when I'm feeling betrayed, whether it's accurate or not. But it forces me as an influencer to post it in a way that it always takes someone who may read it, no matter where they are. But I look to that person who may be feeling what I'm feeling. And I'm hoping that they will say, Lauren, I feel the same way. Here's what I'm doing right now, because I don't trust that I can do it by myself. That's why it's the power of we and not the power of me. I believe negativity and all the things that have ever harmed us, hurt us, robbed us, tricked us were because we made decisions and stuff all alone. It got us to think that we were all alone. No one gets it but you. That's not true. So, Banki, let's talk about this is a systems piece, but let's
Yeah.
talk about how people feel when they come to our websites. Now, I have them in place, but I was begrudgingly doing it at the beginning, but now I understand it. What I'm getting at is that SSL certificate that people have on their websites. Now, I've gone to some sites of people that I was like, just gone, I love her, I love him, or man, they really got to go. And then I go to their site to just check out something, buy something, donate, or whatever. And whenever I go in and there's not an SSL certificate, I'm afraid to put my information in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So talk about that, because a lot of people they think that's just a GoDaddy or wherever thing to get free money. You know, I mean, it's like all those cable taxes and stuff on your phone bill. You don't know what the hell that is, and it's like $50, $60 worth of that shit. So I'm just saying, but it's not true. Talk about why you might want to rethink that mindset if you have a website and you're asking people to trust you for whatever reason, and you don't have that SSL certificate.
Well, it's right now. It's a lot more easier to get SSL certificates than ever before. You can get it as part of your hosting plan, and it can be included in there. So I would say for anyone who doesn't have one, to really just speak to your hosting provider and see if they have one included in their hosting plan. Just to answer your question, it tells that your site is secure. It tells that whenever someone put money into your business on your website, that they're putting it in a safe place. So it's definitely needed. I believe every website should have it, even if you're not selling anything.
Right.
Exactly. You want people, when they come to your site, that they feel safe, even if they're not spending anything.
Right.
And that SSL certificate identifies that your site is safe.
Okay.
Without it, you don't know. You don't know what you're getting yourself into.
Here you go. So think about it. And here's how I put myself in front of these types of decisions, because I'm gonna tell you two things about me. Naturally, and I'm all for it. I tell it. I put it out there. I ain't ashamed. I always look for the lazy man approach, and I always look for the cheap man approach. I do, because it makes me skeptical, not doubtful. Skeptical, which makes me look at it from top to bottom, bottom to top, side to side, side to side, corner to corner, and corner to corner, so that I feel that I have done my best. And that SSL certificate, when I see it on my sites, I know that I have done my best to send that message of trust in more than just lip service.
Exactly.
Okay, because people know it costs, and if it's important to him, then maybe I am too. There you go. Okay, so think about that. Next question. Let's start at the very top of our websites.
Okay.
Just like on Facebook pages and groups and all that stuff. First thing I do with my clients when they come for coaching is let's go in there and take a look. And I can't tell you, like I had a girl, I will not mention her name. You know who you are. When we opened up her Facebook page, which was a public figure page, and it lived up to the title, public figure, because all you saw was titties. No head, nothing else, just breasts. Right there, the whole banner, no message, not her name. All that stuff was on the photo, but it wasn't sized properly. Or those people that have a message and it's good, and you get to the last 2 or 3 words and they miss it. It's like a Sudoku or something. You got to guess what it was. And I always believe that's the very first step inside the experience with you.
Yes.
And there's a reason they call things user-friendly. Talk about what that means in more than just, it's easy to navigate. Doesn't that apply or not? Does it or does it not apply to how accessible you make the message and understandable and clear?
Yes.
Is that user-friendly as well?
Well, understanding your online presence, how you want the world to perceive you, and looking at how your Facebook, doing an audit on your Facebook accounts, for example, doing an audit on your current website. And really what you're doing is looking at where am I at right now and where do I want to be? And a lot of that involves changing the size of a lot of different things so that way it displays it functions properly so people see what they're supposed to see. All right. In terms of your online presence, not having everything done properly, not having the right size for your website banner, you have to care about those things. You really have to care about it because it's your name that you're putting on the line and it's how other people see you. So it goes back into the branding story. What do you want people to know about you? It goes back to your mission. It goes back to all of that. So that way you can articulate, you can present that visually.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Here we go. Now, because not everybody starts with a website.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, well, I'll rely on Facebook, LinkedIn, any other social media platform. It's free. I can do these things, boom, boom, boom. So, but I've always looked at those platforms as streams that are trickling to the full river.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Right. And so let's talk about the things we do on those social media platforms that affect the traffic that makes it to our website. Because what I'm getting at is having 100 different Facebook profiles, all under the same name. I'm watering down the Kool-Aid, I call it.
Yeah.
Or this one. This is another one that's prevalent. And that is having the dustiest ass Facebook page on Facebook. In other words, you ain't came in there and posted nothing. It's so dusty. You come in there, you see last post 2016. You see what I'm saying? Right. Stuff like that. It's negligent. It's lazy. What is it? So let's talk about how important it is because on the other hand, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. I don't believe you have to be one of those people. Oh, you got to post every day at 2:00 and then you got to post another one at 7:00. And then I believe if you're posting the truth, just put it out there and let it go where it's supposed to go. It'll find who it's supposed to find, and they'll find it. That's called the law of attraction. So, what do you say?
Well, I agree. Whenever you're posting, you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent with the way you show up in the world, so people can trust you. If you're not consistent,
say that again.
Be consistent.
You must be consistent in how you show up in the world.
Yes.
Well,
so consistency is definitely key. You really have to have a strategy of how you use your social media. Social media, there's so much different social media platforms. You got to go back to who your target audience are and knowing where they hang out. And
so there it is. Okay, that's the place we're going to segue through. We're going to go out for 1 minute. We'll come back with more of Banki, D. Benjamin of Banki Designs and Takeout Business Takeout, and all of those things. But get into some other things. We want to have time to talk about that ebook and more. We'll be back. You guys don't go away. Share this out. There's more illuminated conversation right around the corner. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
The power of we was a way of inclusion, a way of inviting anyone who needed or wanted a place to belong.
It was just very clear to me that this was something that would really benefit the young folks right here.
And to be able to give them a different perspective that I know where they come from, I know what they're experiencing because I was there too, and letting them know that there's different actions that they can take that'll lead to a different destiny.
We really needed to hear that. In order to change our community, we needed to hear that.
And they are inspired to invest in making it happen. That's powerful.
Welcome back. Welcome back to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Laura Michaels Harris. Great guest today. Isn't she great? Banki is here from Canada. But before I bring her back in, she's backstage helping herself to some. If you don't put my lunch back in the refrigerator, somebody get. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Banki wouldn't touch my. Listen, who's out there who's ready to help some kids? Scrolling along the bottom, mail donations to Power of We 22. Here's what we're looking for now. We are looking for small things to go inside the swag bags. If you are coming or if you have time, a bag of candy. That's right. We're up to a bag of candy, and that's a real thing. Where is it? Here it is. Look. One bag of candy each. That's for people who are coming. The kids, look, it worked when they were little. It still works when they're teenagers. After lunch, when they be thinking they're going to go, eat some of this candy. Yeah, you'll stay awake. I guarantee you. So if you want to mail, if you want to help, if you want to contribute, looking for a way, that is, buy a $3 or $4 bag of candy and mail it to 1695 Smoky Court, Naperville, Illinois, 60563. And we will be putting those bowls out right after lunch. It works every time. And the kids love candy. What kid does not love candy, right? Okay, so you can put healthy snacks in there too. They'll probably give them away, but they like candy. And here's another great thing. I saw some kids last time. They were like, are y'all going to throw that extra candy out when it was time to leave? And I was like, no, why? You like candy that much? They go, no, but I have 4 siblings at home, little ones, who love candy, and they don't really ever get it. That's why we have candy. I'm just saying. Hi, Banki. Come on back in. Come on back in. You know what? I just want to say before we go on, people go, what? But I'm going to tell you something. I'll never forget when I was at one of the middle schools recruiting kids for the first Power Week, and I had my lunch with me, and on my salad, I had put some sliced fresh strawberries, right? And these 2 little boys, they must have been like, I think they were like 3rd graders, and they were looking at me, and they were pointing. And I heard the other boy, and they whispering in each other's ear, going back and forth. I was like, y'all are trying to set me up so you can get my lunch from me? They're like, no, but what are those? Those aren't tomatoes. And I was like, no, those are strawberries. They were like real ones. Neither one of those little boys had ever had a fresh strawberry. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Real story. Banki, let's go into this part. What about what are you seeing? Tell us what's going on in the world with people. You see these new businesses that come to you with websites and stuff. Are you finding that people are are entrepreneurs and solopreneurs building in a give back piece from the very front end of their brands? I'm hoping that's a piece, that's a thing. Like when I started speaking and stuff, I knew I would want something like the Power of We. I knew I just knew it. Do you see that? And if you do or don't, how important do you think that is for all of us who fancy ourselves influencers?
It just having the right places in place. There's a bit of a lag. So what I would say is, when you're starting your business, a lot of people, they don't know where to start. So they always think they start with a logo. But you don't start with a logo. You start with a business plan, because we have to understand exactly the long term goals of your company in order to really get you a logo that's long lasting. You don't want to be in a position where you have to always redesign your logo because the direction of your company keeps on changing. So you have to then start off with your business plan, know where you want to go, so that way the logo can be created to meet you there. What I mean.
Beautiful. And you do that. I've seen tons of work of yours. It's absolutely flawless. Tell us about your new ebook.
Yes.
What's it about?
I created the social media content planner for entrepreneurs. And basically, it's the ebook plus workbook. So it takes you to every stages on your social media journey as an entrepreneur. So I will take you into your first establishing what your goals are, because you cannot just go out there and create content. You need to know why you're doing it. You need to know if what you're doing, if it's working. So understanding your goals, knowing how to audit your account properly, and really assessing, what I've done. Is it where I want to go? So auditing is very
Correct.
important. I
Well,
also
that's a
talk
scary
about
word.
branding.
Wait, let me come back in. I'm back
Yeah.
here. Wow, that's a scary word, even for me. You say auditing, and because you know my coach when he's always on me about that P&L stuff. And if I don't answer his calls, I'm like ducking from behind the couch. When the phone rings to see if it has his name on it. He's like one of those dads at church. You're getting a whooping at night because they see you across the church talking and stuff, and you look over and they're going, you're getting toe up, right? That's how my coach, and he's not even that way, but he's so accountable, makes you so accountable. But I forgot what I was even talking about. That's
Auditing.
yeah, that kind of word. So can you give it a friendlier shade so that people will say, okay, I'll do that. Auditing makes everybody run. IRS audit, any kind of audit. How in this case can we make audit?
Well,
A four-letter word. AUD. Okay, but like a four-letter word. How do we make it user-friendly?
well, you can change the word and just doing a monthly evaluation, just checking to see where am I currently in terms of engaging with my audience, how am I currently doing, and is it where I want to be? And if it's not where I want to be, what changes do I need to make to get
To
there?
get where I want to be. Well, to get where I need to be.
Need to be,
Because,
yeah.
I might want to be someplace I'm not ready for. But I need to be where I need to be to get where it is I want to go. So I get it
Exactly.
and you get it, but do you get it? If you're still trying to get it, make sure you give Banki a call. I wanted to just kind of go into this before I'm going to start putting your stuff up. There you go, bankidesigns.com, or also for all business takeout, you can take it out. You ain't got to come into the restaurant. Order out. She'll Uber it to you. Don't worry. DoorDash. Well, they sell everything. Who is that people? Which one is it? Grove Up? Somebody's doing toilet paper and all kind of things. They got the weirdest billboards. The person reaches in the bag and they're eating it. I didn't know they delivered right. Anyway, business takeout. What does that mean? Is it really what we envision? That you've got something we can come and get and take home and make it work?
Well, you know what? If you can definitely see it that way. Business Takeout started in 2018 as a Facebook group, and now it's a nonprofit. It's a nonprofit social enterprise.
Oh, okay. Businesstakeout.com. Now, let's talk about this. A lot of people say, well, and I just learned this myself, you guys, a couple weeks ago. I really did not know. What I'm getting at is back in the day when someone said they were a nonprofit, the first thing you would do is look at their domain and it would say business takeout, for example, .org. And now you are allowed to be a nonprofit with businesstakeout.com. Talk about that. I did not know.
Yeah, pretty much the way that Business Takeout runs, it runs as a social enterprise. So it's not like it's a local nonprofit, which is different, right? So locally, you may want to use .org, or you may want to use, in Canada, we have .ca for Canada, right? But really, the message behind Business Takeout is really to empower Black entrepreneurs, or even all entrepreneurs. But the empowering is not limited to one specific geographical area. So the .com is an international wide, and it really has everyone globally can be a part of it.
Okay. Oh, look at Sherry McQueen's already popped your stuff in the comments. Thank you, Sherry McQueen. Thank you. What is this? Fallon says I've teetered on the thought of social enterprise. Oh yeah, that's what I was just talking to. Who was it? I think it's the farmers people. We're still trying to hit our goal. I got about $6,000 more to raise in 2 weeks from today, but God always comes through. I ain't worried about it. But they were reaching back in and they were like, "Is Power a nonprofit?" Nope. And I didn't want it to be because I don't want the collar that comes with it, known as the board. You got to have board. I just knew I wanted this because you know what? I said to Brian last night, I said, well, Martin Luther King's civil rights movement was not a nonprofit, it wouldn't have worked as a nonprofit because people would have been running it instead of the visionary leading it. And that's where I made that same social enterprise decision. Check it out, you guys. Social enterprise, another way to do business. See, I'm trying to get another sponsor. You can tell, huh? Listen, as always, Banki, it's a pleasure. We've got all of the connectors. Well, not all of them. She's a bunch. But start with these. Find everything you need over at bankidesigns.com, or also head over for the show information, which is business takeout, or show information. No, where do they find out about your shows?
My shows is on Business Takeout.
Okay.
So my podcast and stuff is on Business Takeout, and the ebook is on bankidesigns.com. You can go to shop over there.
Oh yeah, tell them about. Oh Lord. So real quick, 1 minute left. Tell them about the book.
Okay. So the book includes. I'm gonna keep it quick. It has like 8 different sections. It has social media goals, social media auditing, social media branding, social media policies, content strategy, content creation, content marketing, and to refine your strategy every month.
And what's the name?
It's the Social Media Content Planner for Entrepreneurs.
Will you drop the link where they can pick that up in the comments after we conclude here?
Yes, I will.
Okay, that way you guys can get right over and take a look at that. Don't be afraid of policy. Don't be afraid of audit. Trust me, Banki can walk you through it. She'll be a good friend to the end. Banki, it's a real pleasure. We'll be recording a show later on today where I'm appearing on your podcast. So see, two-way flow.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure working with you. I love that you're in my life, and I want to keep it that way. So thank you so much. And I feel the same way.
Well, thank you also. Thank you for having me. I love your bell of purpose. I love that.
Yeah, it's been here since it was a little bitty desk bell, but now it's a big old honker of a bell, like the little Liberty Bell. Thank you so much. Listen, you all, get out there today. Believe in everything, but first believe in yourself. And you are well on your way to changing the world one story at a time. Listen, honor your scars. Remember that behind every single thing that has ever hurt you is that heart that proves that everything is there to heal you. Don't worry. You've got what you need. And if you don't, come back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central, and every day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Central, God willing, and you'll get some of that healing. I promise you that. How do I know? Because I love the promises, and I know every illuminated conversation is a healing light. Get out there. Be the change you want to see in the world. I'm Laura Michaels Harrison. I'll see you tomorrow for our next episode of Bathrobe Moments. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks, Banki. Have a great day, you guys.
Alrighty.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Oh, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you